All right, guys, we are at the finish line almost. We got my top five favorite superheroes left, so let's continue this countdown. These are all going to fit pretty close together.
Nice.
For the most part. Coming in at number 5 for me is Nightcrawler.
Oh, Nightcrawler, dog. That's a major
Yeah.
curveball as well, man.
Yeah.
Shite.
I mean, the fact that he just sits there and it's just like,
Yeah. Get out.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
gone. I mean, the idea of teleportation is so cool. I think, in my opinion, that's always the conversation. Would you be invisible or would you teleport? Like, I'm teleporting. I'm going all over the fucking place. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
dog, yeah.
But just him as a character as a whole, I think is super cool. I really like the character. I like that he's so different, but so unique. So, I mean, in all reality, like that, you don't look at him as super powerful because all he technically really kind of does is teleport. But like, that's incredible. I love in the movies too how he talks about like his skin and the designs on it and stuff that he says are like symbols. They're archangel symbols, and he puts one on his skin every time he sins. And
Yeah.
I mean, this man, he's just fighting such a battle for himself, and he's in a situation in the X-Men world, and you guys know from the movies that during this time it's when they're trying to get rid of mutants and stuff, and he's not one of those that can hide. You know what I mean? Like, he cannot hide his mutation as far as his appearance goes, right? Because teleporting doesn't hide the look of him. He's not like Mystique, who can turn into people and whatever else, or any of these other X-Men that for the most part they look human,
East.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
he just kind of fighting his own battles and stuff. But I just love the power. I just love the way he looks, the way he uses his tail. I mean, he's a creature, but he's a person, and he's just, I don't know. I think there's a lot to him that I wish we could see more of. I wish we got a bigger take. I wish we got, I don't know. I just wish there was additional content for him.
Indeed, did you like that actor, man?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect.
Cool.
And honestly, when it comes to roles like that, I really like it being somebody who's not a big main staple name. Like, I enjoy the fact that Hugh Jackman was Wolverine, right? That was you couldn't get better than that as far as that goes. Somebody like Nightcrawler, as far as that goes, like, you don't need somebody who's this top-selling, top-notch actor, which, to be honest with you, I felt this way about even Tom Holland, right? Tom Holland came out of nowhere and got to play the biggest and best Spider-Man roles available. I feel that way about if they ever did a Nightwing, if they do a Batman Beyond movie. Like, we don't need to hire somebody who's already pretty well established. Like, let's find somebody new and make them this character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, but yeah, I have always just super liked Nightcrawler. I'll tell you what, man, back in the day, Brock used to laugh, because Nightcrawler in the movie, he teleports and it's like this puff of like blue kind of smoke or whatever. And Brock was like, man, he's like, I wish I could do that, but every time I did it, it just like poof, and it was like just like clouds of like my hair. And like, so every time he did it, it was really gross because it was just like just hair everywhere.
Nice, dog. Nice.
But yeah,
Nice. Cool.
Nightcrawler, I love that motherfucker.
Cool.
Coming in for me at number 4, another X-Man, X-Woman, Jean Grey.
Damn. Oh, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
She is so stupidly, ridiculously powerful. It's not even funny. I mean,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I feel like they've done a very good job in the movies portraying her. And I teeter between this. I want to say Phoenix. I really, 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 truly do want to say that Phoenix is actually my favorite. But that being said, the Phoenix Force, I'm fully aware it's not her. It's an energy source that takes over her, right? Which, again, here's another one of those that we're going to teeter on. Like, is she a hero when she's Phoenix, or is she a bad guy when she's Phoenix? Because she kind of sides right in the middle, if I'm concerned. Like, she does a little bit for good and a little bit for bad, right? So, but just like crazy, stupid, powerful. I love what they did in the movies with her, even the old school movies when it was Famke Janssen. I can't remember her name, but the wife from Taken, when she played the role of Jean Grey and then got to become Phoenix, and Wolverine has to kill her because she's just like vaporizing everything. And she even says, she basically tells him to kill her or whatever. Like, man, for the time, because this was way before the, Iron Man's and Endgame and all that shit. This was like the pinnacle for me of Marvel shit and Marvel movies, was that scene with her where they're at that base. I think they're at Alcatraz, and she is literally turning vehicles and people into powder.
Yeah.
you know? I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
And then even moving on into some of the newer X-Men stuff where they had the girl, and I can't think of her name. She was in Game of Thrones. Played Jean Grey, the younger version of Jean Grey. But same thing, they gave her Phoenix Force too. But you know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
sure.
She just is so crazy powerful, man. And I just, for me, that's one of those things that like, it's really, really cool. And I like the power that she has. I like that, Jean Grey all along before she was Phoenix and stuff. But I do definitely like the Phoenix Force side of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mandy, to add to some of that, brother, just along the lines of movies, man. Of course, loved all those X-Men movies, man. And I kind of feel, man, that those X-Men movies kind of started off this whole Marvel thing. Man.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Blade and those actually saved the Marvel franchise.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I think it was about to tank.
Opposite direction of DC.
Yeah.
Man, the one of the last X-Men movies that came out that was with Jean Grey. I think, of course, the Phoenix came out a little bit.
Right, yeah. The one with Apocalypse or whatever. Is it that one?
The one with the aliens?
Oh, they put one of her. Didn't they just put one of hers out as a standalone, though?
I think that might have been it. Because, of course, with the aliens, man.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be honest, man. One of my number one fears, of course, is great white sharks, megalodons, and aliens, man, like actual alien fuckers.
Right.
And of course, when they brought I didn't know. And then, of course, now when they're whooping their ass, I was like, yeah, get those fuckers. Yeah, no, excuse my language, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Jean Grey. Good old Jean Grey.
Cool.
Number 3 is very, very, very similar. I said this the other day that I would love to see this individual and Jean Grey as the Phoenix in a fight.
Oh,
the
shit,
Scarlet Witch herself.
Damn, D.
Wanda Maximoff.
Wow, D. That. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really, really, really like the Scarlet Witch. I think, again, it's really just the level of power that she has. I mean, beyond. I mean, I think Jean Grey, if she's not Omega level, she's probably above Omega level as a mutant. But I think Scarlet Witch is either exactly the same, maybe higher. I'd have to check the charts. But again, man, it's just the sheer power that comes from her, the capabilities of her, the story of her. For me, it's an all-encompassing thing, right? So everything, even within the last couple years, between WandaVision and through the Strange movie and stuff. But even before that, when she was just in Avengers and becoming who she is and kind of us being introduced to her, it's really unique because she was very much a side character. They didn't even shed much light on her as much as they did even Captain Marvel, when, to be honest, part of me feels like she's probably stronger than Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And I just think it was really cool that they built her up in a way that she wasn't this like crazy over the top character in the beginning of things, right? And then when WandaVision came out, I really didn't like obviously the first episode. I talked about this if you guys want to go check on my podcast, but I didn't like the first episode of WandaVision, like just the kind of throwback TV vibe of it or whatever. Yeah. But I gave it a chance and I was like, I'm going to sit through this. I'm really going to get through this. And as it went on and the story that it told and how it links to the House of M as far as the comic series go, and, really her creating a family and it being fake and her being with Vision and like all this stuff that she just is, she lost her brother and she's just so deeply, deeply wounded and trying to find the outlet for that and to do the right thing. And, for a lot of years was this incredible superhero. Because again, the hard thing here with this character for me is this, if we ever do a top 10 or 15 villains list, chances are her and potentially Phoenix are going to end up on that list as well.
Yeah.
Because I think they kind of cross over back and forth. And you see that big time in, WandaVision, the series, and then rolling into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where she's the actual bad guy in the movie, right? She's the person they're up against. And then at the end of that, her being able to sacrifice herself and understanding she can't keep doing what she's doing. Like it comes full circle again, Yeah. She's fighting that battle. It's that back and forth. But for me, it's very good, strong storyline, really, really cool, strong powers. I mean, just overall really cool. Like I really latch on to that style of a character.
Okay.
For sure.
Damn, D, that wouldn't have figured you had her on there.
Yeah.
Especially that high up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
My top 2 are pretty sweet in my opinion. I know you know what number 1 is, but
yeah.
Number 2 for me is this one. I'm going to kind of be specific on the version of it because there's a couple different versions, which there is for a lot of these, right? And it's hard to, especially with the different Earth series within Marvel, to know which one's which and this, that, and the other and whatever. But this one is pretty specific for me, and it's Ancient One. I will say the Ancient One version from the first Doctor Strange movie, the lady that played Ancient One in that one. That is my favorite. I know that as far as continuity goes, in the comic books, the Ancient One is actually a variety of characters that over time kind of replace each other or whatever. But I think the original one was like an older man, like a really old man who was like a master or whatever. But the version that's in the Doctor Strange movie was my introduction to the character. I didn't know a lot about that storyline and stuff like that. So when I really kind of started looking at it and watching the movie over and over and over again, for whatever reason, like I just feel so drawn to that character. Yeah. The things that she says, not even just the things that she says, the way that she says them, the way she holds herself, it's almost like you can feel the power coming off of her and the wisdom and just, you know, and even in this one, in the first Doctor Strange, she ends up dying in it or whatever. And again, we're going to talk about a character who she's kind of the master of the arts that they're learning, the magic arts that they're learning. But then they kind of do come to find like she's dipping into the darkness to stay alive. Like, you know, she's using a little bit of that to further her goals or whatever. But I don't know, man. I really can't explain much beyond what it is with that character that for whatever reason I just can't get away from. I just super like the character, the way it's portrayed. I don't know, maybe it's just like the ancient wisdom, the kind of the monk status. I mean, they're training and doing stuff, they learn martial arts, they, you know, I don't know, man. I really don't know what it is, but that one for me is just up there, has to just be up there. I would be beyond excited if they ever did an origin of her as Ancient One, not like the rest of them, because they already introduced us to her, which again I know is not what's in the comics, but I would be so thrilled to see how she became Ancient One. Yeah. God, that'd be so cool. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I would die. Yeah. Oh God, it'd be so cool.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
I would love that.
Man, you already know, D. Of course, we've talked about this in the past, man, where she's straight. Yeah. Souls. Oh, that was Spider-Man. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time. Set you straight for a second.
Yeah.
It's, all right. You need to slow down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a step back, literally.
Yeah.
Blow you out your underwear. But yeah. Love it. Love that character. This was the only character that has come into, I guess, existence for me that gave number 1 a run for its money.
Really, man.
Which is striking. And you guys don't know this, but I was telling Creed this. I told Creed who my number 1 was the other day because it was the only one that I knew was solidified. My number 1, as we'll dive into it, has been my absolute favorite superhero from the time I was 6 or 7.
Damn.
From way back in the day till now, still 100%, hands down, no questions asked. My number 1 top favorite superhero of all time is Storm. Love it. I love every single thing about her. Gotcha, I love her powers. I love the story behind. I mean, she can, change the weather. One thing too, I've always been a super weather nerd. I know it's weird, but like I always have been super interested in the sheer force and power that the earth wields for itself, right? Just within the weather. Like how in the fuck does within the clouds bolts of electricity come flying out of it?
Yeah.
How in the fuck does it make a tornado or a hurricane or, all these crazy things? But so for me, I was so interested in that stuff from the beginning. And then to think that, there's a superhero who can just generate that kind of stuff. Like what?
Yeah.
And even the look of Storm from back in the day, even to today, all the iterations of Storm, from the classic Storm to the Halle Berry Storm and I'm not sure who played the newest version of Storm, but like, just so cool. I love the look. I love the look with the white hair. I love that when it's time for the weather to change, her eyes turn white. Like, there's just something about the way that character is that has never been able to just get away from me as far as my true love of all superheroes.
Yeah.
To this day still. I just love her.
Andy, that's interesting, but badass at the same time of how consistent, man, a character has stuck with you that long.
Yeah, 100%.
That's cool. And to be number one that long too, that's impressive, man.
Yeah. And like I said, no one even showed up on scene to shake that up, in my opinion, until Ancient One showed up. And then Ancient One was kind of like, okay, Ancient One's definitely number 2. She didn't take number 1 from me, but it'll be damn hard to have, I think, a different superhero or hero or whatever you want to call it bump Storm out of number 1 for me.
Yeah.
I just love her so much. And the stories are so cool. I mean, it's the funny thing was, some of the storylines, and obviously there's tons of different storylines that they've created for a lot of these, right? But within her, like coming from, a village in Africa, and there's not a lot there. There's not a lot of wealth. The family struggle, and she learns that she can control the weather, and, she can make it rain so that they can grow crops and get food and sell food, just like really cool story, to the evolution of different storylines later on being that her and Black Panther get married, and
that's badass.
The king and queen, and like, I mean, just so cool. Like, just, they really did take a hold of that character and just run with it back in the day, which again, the cool thing was too is, they had developed this super strong female character who was, obviously not just another white person, which again, to me makes no difference. I don't care at all if it's, if she was green, for fuck's sake, I don't care. But like, it's really cool that it was, even at such a long time ago, they were doing that already. Yeah. And she was so powerful. And the funny thing is, I think about stuff nowadays where everybody talks about this inclusivity. We need to have more inclusivity. And I think about it like, I have loved Storm since I was a little kid, and never once did it cross my mind like, oh, it's because she of her skin color or whatever. Like, to me, it just wasn't even, I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
It just was what it was. And I just over the moon about it.
Yeah.
I just love the way they portrayed her in the movies and stuff too, even with Halle Berry and stuff, and just like when she like electrocutes Toad and like all kinds of different shit, which I think was Ray Park who played Darth Maul, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Gotcha, man. Yep, gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, just like floating up into the sky turns black, the lightning starts just falling. Oh, fuck. Gives me goosebumps.
Perfect actress, in my opinion, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And just the dynamic too between like her and Hugh Jackman, awesome.
Yeah,
because they were in another pretty good movie together. Do you remember what it was? Swordfish.
I love that.
There's a real nice scene in there.
Yeah,
Actually, there's a couple.
Yeah,
I like the way he's banging on the table. He's trying to hack. Remember that? They're like testing him to see how fast he can hack, and he's like,
"Oh God."
Homegirl's under the table.
It's a John Travolta, dog. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, God.
Good ass movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Yeah,
I
man.
just
Yep.
always has been Storm.
Nice.
I think it probably always will be, in my opinion.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, that one takes it for me. Always.
Cool. Man, yeah, Storm, dog. That's cool. Man, consistency for the most part, man. I would think, man, of course, my ass doesn't know, but I would think for a lot of folks that, especially their number 1 would change a little bit, especially from Young Buck all the way till now.
Right.
Yeah. Shoot, I'll be honest with you, brother. Of course, for me, Rambo was always up there, but maybe not number 1 at that time.
Right.
When I was young, especially like a superhero was probably, it might have been Wolverine up there or the Hulk.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man.
Always, man. I don't know. Something hooked me from the very first time I saw it. I was just like, oh my God. I could care less about reading people's minds or moving shit with my mind. Like,
yeah.
I could make lightning come out of the sky.
Oh man, gotcha. Yeah, dog. Yeah.
As Sindel would say. Thunder God.
Yeah, dog. Got you, man.
I just love it.
Got you, man.
I love her.
I'm thinking of your other homeboy, man. Big Trouble in Little China. Man, dog, the egg. Egg, how'd you get up there? Wasn't easy. Man, dog, at the beginning, let me tell you about a story of Jack Burton.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Cool.
I love it, man. That's it.
Nice, dog.
That's the last 5.
Nice.
Pretty similar stuff. A lot of X-Men and mostly female.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Much love and respect on that. That's cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
That I'll be honesty of putting those together, man. Man, that was possibly a little more funner than all the rest of the movies and the video games. That was a good time, man,
It was also way harder.
Yeah.
Because my honorable mentions list is deep too.
Okay.
And I'll throw them out there.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, obviously. That might be one of my absolute favorite Marvel movies, but because I'm not as familiar yet with the character, he's on the outskirts. But I think he's going to make a solid run if we get another movie of his.
Yeah.
And it does what the first one does.
Yeah.
I already mentioned Peacemaker, the series, because it was so funny. Cap and Wonder Woman, obviously. Captain America and Wonder Woman are on there.
Yeah.
Invincible. I really, really was thinking about putting Invincible on there.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, the kid, man.
Because that's shaping up to be a really cool story.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked it, you guys need to check that. I think there's only 1 season currently, but
man,
it's gnarly.
Man, shout out to Murphy, man. Appreciate you, and of course, D, you were the one too that mentioned that. But yeah, that was a damn good series.
Yeah, it was cool, wasn't it?
That was cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cool. Yep.
My last one, and this one didn't make the list simply because when I was researching it was one that got too complicated because there's so many different people that have donned this mantle as this character over time. So I didn't want to just have to pick one specifically. Is within Marvel as well. And it's Ronin, right? The Ronin character that we're familiar with, which is Clint Barton, obviously, Hawkeye, that turns into Ronin, right? But there's a lot of variations of it. I think the very first one, technically, in the comic books was a character named Maya Lopez, which I think is who they're actually using in the Hawkeye series as the upcoming Echo, I believe. That character, so to speak, I think was the first original Ronin. But too many people have put on the outfit and taken the name of it. You know, it kind of becomes this thing you take on when you're ready to go out and, do a little street justice or whatever. So just for that reason, I kind of kept it off the list that it wasn't the top. There were just too many of them to sort through. So,
wow, man. D, speaking of him, man, good old Hawkeye, man. Just a couple things, man. Of course, we've talked about this behind the scenes, man, but that series that came out with him and Homegirl from Bumblebee.
Right, yeah.
Of course, we've talked about this. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh,
man.
dude, it was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
Their chemistry on screen was fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was probably one of my favorites last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree, man.
Yep.
What I love about Hawkeye too, man. What's cool, just a great idea that they introduced with him, man. Especially even phase 1, man, of him having a family.
Yeah. Yep.
Of course, so he's got a family, but he's doing this with some superhero. Oh man, that's awesome. Man.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing
man.
too is not just the family side of it, but even in the Hawkeye series, him doing everything he can to hurry up and put this stuff behind him so he can spend Christmas with his kids. Like, understanding that we're kind of at the end. Like, this was the passing of the Hawkeye torch, right? Because he's to the point he wants to be a family man and spend time with his family, and he knows that the fate of a lot of the other superheroes that were involved in stuff, and it didn't turn out that well. So
yeah, man, yeah.
Cool, man. That rounds it out. That's all we got for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed the top 15, which obviously we first discussed doing a top 10. That didn't work.
Yeah.
We needed a few extra, so that's why you guys got 15 out of us, but hope you guys liked them. Make sure you leave some comments, subscribe to the Ghost Arcade channel as well as the Sector 7 Podcast. We'll try to get stuff on both of those. I'm trying to think what else. Leave some comments. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. Same as always, let us know what you thought of our list, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Talk that shit if you want to. Let us know what your top 15 or top 10 or even just top 5, I don't care who, Leave your favorite if you want. I'm curious
Yeah.
to see what you guys think, though. Let us know kind of who and what you guys are into. That's all I got, though. Creed, you got anything for him?
Nah, man. Just was gonna say the last thing you said. Yeah, leave some of your list. We'd love to hear some of your opinions in your guys' list. I think that would be badass.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Appreciate you.
Lastly, too, if you guys have any ideas for top 10s that you want to know, what our favorite top 10 whatever is, do that.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. Cool, guys. We'll see you in the next one.